Bonjour à tous and welcome to Learn French with Vincent. Apprenez le français avec Vincent. And this is Unité 17, leçon L. And in this lesson, we'll see together le passé simple. So this video will be divided in two parts. The first one will be covering l'utilisation, so when do we use le passé simple, and the second one will cover la formation, so how do we construct this passé simple tense. So we can start right now with l'utilisation, okay? And well, the main thing when we think about le passé simple, well, the first thing it's a tense from the past, and then utiliser à l'écrit. So in most of the cases you will see or you will encounter this passé simple form at the written form. Okay, so dans la littérature, dans les récits historiques, dans les contes, dans les journaux. Okay, so in most of the cases we will see these passé simple forms in literature, dans la littérature, historical stories, les récits historiques, fairy tales, les contes, and then newspapers, les journaux. Okay, and then keep in mind that it is quite rare à l'oral, assez rare à l'oral. So dans le passé, in the past of course, and you will express with le passé simple une action, un fait, un événement. Okay, so it will be used in the past to express une action, an action, un fait, a fact, and then un événement, an event. Keep in mind that you don't have any connection with the time when you say or when you tell this thing at the past. Okay, so pas de connexion avec le moment de l'énonciation. And the last thing is that normally the person who will express this passé simple form will be somehow exterior to the story. So la personne est extérieure au récit. Okay, so keep that in mind if you want to express in the past une action, un fait, or then un événement. Okay, don't have any connection with the time when the person is telling this past form, okay, and then the person who is actually telling this past form is somehow exterior to the story. Okay, so this is now how we will construct la formation du passé simple. And you will see that it's a bit tricky, so I've been making some groups and then subgroups, but then here are the groups. So the first one is, well, the first group of regular verbs in French, you know, ending with er, okay? And for this group, well, the endings will be for je, ai, and then for tu, as, il, elle, a, nous, a accent circonflexe, mes, vous, a accent circonflexe, tes, il, elle, and the plural form, accent grave, rent. Okay, so you've got here your endings for the first group of verbs, so the regular verbs, ai, as, a accent circonflexe, mes, a accent circonflexe, tes, accent grave, rent. Okay? And let's see now the endings for the group of the verbs of the second group and the regular verbs in IR. Okay, so you will have for je, is, and then for tu, is, for il, elle, it, for nous, I accent circonflexe, mes, vous, I accent circonflexe, tes, and then il, elle, at the plural form, irent. Okay, so you get these. There are the endings for the regular verbs from the second group, IR. Okay, so is, it, imes, ITES, IRENT. Okay, don't forget the circumflex here and here. So let's continue now, and we'll discover now, so it's a bit more tricky. So we're not talking about groups and subgroups, but we'll talk about the verbs that will have their participe passé, so past participles, in I en I. Okay, so remember, we're not talking about all the verbs in IR, for instance. And then je, so it will end with IS. Tu, it will end with IS. Il, elle, it will end with IT. Nous, I accent circonflexe MES. Vous, I accent circonflexe TES. Il, elle, IRENT. So of course you can tell me that, well, these endings are exactly the same as we saw previously. And yes, of course, because, well, all the regular verbs from the second group in IR do have their participe passé in I, like that, okay? But in this case, we're mostly talking about, and we'll see a few examples, about the verbs from the second group that do have their participe passé in I. Okay, so let's continue now with these groups. So we're talking about the verbs ending with OER, but then of course, as usual, I'm honest with you, and we're not talking about all the verbs, but most of them, okay? And the endings will go like je, US, tu, US, il, elle, UT, okay? Nous, U accent circonflexe MES, vous, U accent circonflexe TES, il, elle, URENT. Okay, so keep in mind these endings, so US, US, UT, U accent circonflexe MES, U accent circonflexe TES, URENT. Now we're talking about the verbs ending with OER, but remember, not all the verbs. Let's see now another category, OIRE, and then as usual, remember, we're not talking about all the verbs, but most of them. And the endings will go like je, US, tu, US, and then il, elle, UT, okay? Nous, U accent circonflexe MES, vous, U accent circonflexe TES, il, elle, URENT. Okay, so remember, verbs ending with OIRE, but not all the verbs. US, US, UT, U accent circonflexe MES, U accent circonflexe TES, URENT. Okay, then we'll continue with the verbs that do have their participe passé en U. Okay, remember, not all the verbs, of course, but most of them. And the endings will be je, US, tu, US, il, elle, UT, nous, U accent circonflexe MES, vous, U accent circonflexe TES, il, elle, URENT. Okay? And then verbs like tenir and venir, they are a bit tricky, so be careful, we're talking about these two verbs, but then of course all the composed verbs based on tenir and venir. Okay, so let's see now. And then je, INS, tu, INS, il, elle, INT, nous, INMES, vous, INTES, il, elle, INRENT. Okay, so we'll now see a few examples, quelques exemples. And now I will focus on the pronunciation. Okay, so let's start with the first group. So les verbes en ER, and then the example is parler. Okay, je parlais, tu parlas, il parla, elle parla, nous parlâmes, vous parlâtes, ils parlèrent, elles parlèrent. Okay, so one more time. Je parlais, tu parlas, il parla, elle parla, nous parlâmes, vous parlâtes, ils parlèrent, elles parlèrent. And now the second group of verbs ending with er, so the regular one, and I've been choosing this finir, to finish or to end. Example: je finis, tu finis, il finit, elle finit, nous finîmes, vous finîtes, ils finirent, elles finirent. Okay, so one more time. Je finis, tu finis, il finit, elle finit, nous finîmes, vous finîtes, ils finirent, elles finirent. And now let's see all the verbs that will have their participe passé en I. Remember, it was not all the verbs, so I've been choosing this suivre verb to follow. Je suivis, tu suivis, il suivit, elle suivit, nous suivîmes, vous suivîtes, ils suivirent, elles suivirent. Okay, so one more time. Je suivis, tu suivis, il suivit, elle suivit, nous suivîmes, vous suivîtes, ils suivirent, elles suivirent. And now let's see a few verbs. So like attendre, so it's to wait, dire, to say, entendre, to hear, faire, to do, mettre, to put, sorry, and then voir, to see. J'attendis, tu dis, il entendit, elle entendit, nous fîmes, vous mîtes, ils virent, elles virent. Okay, so j'attendis, tu dis, il entendit, elle entendit, nous fîmes, vous mîtes, ils virent, elles virent. Alright, so let's continue now with this group. Remember, verbs ending with OER, but we said that it was not all the verbs, so I've been choosing this recevoir example, to receive, recevoir, and it goes like that. Je reçus, tu reçus, il reçut, elle reçut, nous reçûmes, vous reçûtes, ils reçurent, elles reçurent. Okay, so one more time. Je reçus, tu reçus, il reçut, elle reçut, nous reçûmes, vous reçûtes, ils reçurent, elles reçurent. And now the verbs ending with OERE, and remember I said that we were not talking about all the verbs, but most of them, and for this example I've been taking boire. Boire is to drink. Je bus, tu bus, il but, elle but, nous bûmes, vous bûtes, ils burent, elles burent. Okay, so one more time. Je bus, tu bus, il but, elle but, nous bûmes, vous bûtes, ils burent, elles burent. And now the verbs that will have their participe passé en U. So I've been choosing this lire verb, so lire is to read. Je lus, tu lus, il lut, elle lut, nous lûmes, vous lûtes, ils lurent, elles lurent. Okay, so one more time. Je lus, tu lus, il lut, elle lut, nous lûmes, vous lûtes, ils lurent, elles lurent. And now, venir, venir is to come, so remember they were a bit tricky. So we're talking about venir and all the verbs that will be formed with venir. Je vins, tu vins, il vint, elle vint, nous vîmes. Remember, it's quite tricky to pronounce that. Vîmes. Vous vîntes, ils vinrent, elles vinrent. Okay, so one more time. Je vins, tu vins, il vint, elle vint, nous vîmes, vous vîntes, ils vinrent, elles vinrent. And then, as I said, tenir, so exactly the same thing as we had for venir, so we're talking about tenir, and all the verbs that will be composed based on tenir, okay? So, je tins, tu tins, il tint, elle tint, nous tîmes, same thing, same tricky phonetical thing here, nous tîmes, okay? Vous tîntes, ils tinrent, elles tinrent. One more time, je tins, tu tins, il tint, elle tint, nous tîmes, vous tîntes, ils tinrent, elles tinrent. And this is it for le passé simple. So I will do few videos right after this one, and we'll see, well, of course, être and avoir, and a few other important verbs at the passé simple form. Okay? I hope it was useful. Have a great day. Au revoir et à bientôt. Le passé simple, and more precisely, le passé simple du verbe être. Okay, so let's see now. Être, au passé simple, je fus, tu fus, il fut, elle fut, nous fûmes, vous fûtes, ils furent, elles furent. Okay, so one more time, encore une fois. Je fus, okay, keep in mind that final S is not pronounced. Tu fus, exactly the same thing, final S not pronounced. Il fut, final T not pronounced. Elle fut. Okay, so basically you've got only one phonetical form here, and it's fut, 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 the same. Okay, then nous fûmes, final S not pronounced. Vous fûtes, same thing. Ils furent, elles furent. Keep in mind that ENT, you know, the ending for the plural form is never pronounced, so furent. Okay? Ils furent, elles furent. D'accord? Je fus, tu fus, il fut, elle fut, nous fûmes, vous fûtes, ils furent, elles furent. And that's it. You've got the passé simple forms of the verb être, and être is to be. Passé simple, and in this one we will cover the verb avoir, so to have. Okay, so let's start now. Avoir au passé simple. J'eus, tu eus, il eut, elle eut, nous eûmes, vous eûtes, ils eurent, elles eurent. Okay, so as you can see, phonetically it's quite a challenge because you've got to keep in mind that for each forms you will pronounce this combination of vowels u. You don't pronounce it like normally we would pronounce it okay, but we will pronounce it u all the time. Okay, so j'eus, final S not pronounced, tu eus, final S not pronounced, il eut, final T not pronounced, elle eut. Then nous eûmes, so you can make this little link between the two. Final S not pronounced. Vous eûtes, same thing here, and then the link, vous eûtes. Ils eurent, elles eurent. Okay, remember that when we've got this ENT ending at the end of the plural form, so third person of the plural, you don't pronounce it, so you get eurent. Okay, and then with the link, the liaison, ils eurent. Elles eurent. Okay, so one more time. J'eus, tu eus, il eut, elle eut, nous eûmes, vous eûtes, ils eurent, elles eurent. And that's it. You get all the forms of the passé simple for the verb avoir. Le passé simple, and in this case we'll see le verbe aller, and more precisely, la forme du passé simple. And we can start right now. So let's see, le verbe aller au passé simple. J'allais, tu allas, il alla, elle alla, nous allâmes, vous allâtes, ils allèrent, elles allèrent. Okay, so let's see that one more time. J'allais, tu allas, remember final S is not pronounced, il alla, elle alla. Okay, so you get the two forms here. You are pronouncing them the same way. You put this S for tu, but you don't pronounce it, okay? Then, nous allâmes. Okay, so remember that you should make this little link between the two. Nous allâmes, okay? Vous allâtes, same thing, la liaison. So final S here and final S here is not pronounced. Ils allèrent, liaison, elles allèrent. And then this ENT at the end, you know, the mark for the plural, well, clearly you don't pronounce it, so you get allèrent. Okay, so ils allèrent, elles allèrent. So let's see one more time. J'allais, tu allas, il alla, elle alla, nous allâmes, vous allâtes, ils allèrent, elles allèrent. And that's it. You've got all the forms for le passé simple du verbe. The verb vivre, vivre is to live, and we'll see especially le passé simple, so the forms from the passé simple du verbe vivre. Okay, so we can start right now. So we've got the verb vivre, to live, and then les formes du passé simple. Je vécus, tu vécus, il vécut, elle vécut, nous vécûmes, vous vécûtes, ils vécurent, elles vécurent. Okay, so one more time. Je vécus, final S not pronounced. Tu vécus, same thing. Il vécut, elle vécut, final T not pronounced. So basically you've got only one form here, and it's vécu for all these three persons. Nous vécûmes, final S not pronounced. Vous vécûtes, same thing here. Ils vécurent, so remember, mark for the plural, and T is not pronounced phonetically, you don't get it, so vécurent, okay? Ils vécurent, and then elles vécurent. Okay, so one more time. Je vécus, tu vécus, il vécut, elle vécut, nous vécûmes, vous vécûtes, ils vécurent, elles vécurent. And that's it. You've got all the forms for the verb, le verbe vivre au passé simple, le passé antérieur. Okay, so we can start right now. And normally when I introduce tenses in videos, I divide the video in two parts. The first part will cover l'utilisation, so when do we use, le passé antérieur, and the second part will cover la formation, how do we construct, how do we make this passé antérieur. Okay, so let's see first now l'utilisation. And well, the important thing when we talk about le passé antérieur is that we will use that pour exprimer des faits qui se sont passés avant d'autres faits passés. And then they should be exprimés au passé simple. So clearly, what does it mean? It means that this passé antérieur form is the past in the past. Okay, so when you want to express something that happened before another event that happened in the past, then in that case you should use le passé antérieur, but keep in mind that it works in connection to le passé simple. So it means that if you want to use that orally, if you want to use this past in the past concept, normally we've got, well, a tense that I've been introducing previously, and that's what we call le plus que parfait. Okay, but then in some cases, if you want to use le passé simple, and if you want to use something that happened before, then you should definitely use le passé antérieur. Okay, so keep in mind that l'utilisation est rare, so you will use it quite rarely, maybe never, okay, but you will probably encounter a few passés antérieurs. L'utilisation est à l'écrit, so it's mostly written, and then l'utilisation est dans le langage soutenu, so we are talking about formal French in that case. We're not really talking about the French that you will use orally with friends or family, okay, because in that case you will use other tenses of the past. So let's imagine that this is now. So this is the present, c'est le présent, okay, and let's say that you want to express something that happened in the past and you want to use le passé simple, Okay, so it's possible, of course. If you don't know how to make the passé simple, well, I've been making little videos on that, so you can check it if you want. Okay, so first idea, you want to express something in the past at le passé simple. So keep in mind that the rule is quite strict, because if you want to express something that previously happened, in that case you get to use le passé antérieur. Okay, so first le présent, then first thing in the past you want to use le passé simple. Keep in mind that this is le passé antérieur. That should be used if you want to express something that happened even before. Okay, so this is the past in the past. This is the concept. An example here. So, dès qu'il eut bu son café, il partit au travail. So you can see here that you've got the verb boire, and it's at the passé antérieur form. So first he decides to drink his coffee, then he decides to leave and to go to work. Okay, so in that case you get this passé simple here. So that's the whole concept. First you've got this passé antérieur, then you get the passé simple. Everything happens in the past, okay, but then you want it to use first, in that case, le passé simple, and then you get no choice, but you get to use le passé antérieur for this past in the past concept. So now let's see how do we construct le passé antérieur. And I've been deciding to put few examples, okay, so the first sentence will be always at le passé simple, and the second sentence will be at le passé antérieur. So le passé simple, je mangeais au restaurant. Okay, so the verb is manger, to eat. And then you will get j'eus mangé au restaurant. Second one, tu regardas la télévision. Regarder is to watch. Tu eus regardé la télévision. And then we've got il alla au travail. Il fut allé au travail. And if you take the time to look at these forms, you can spot and you can see that we've got two parts. So it means that it is a compound tense, okay? And then, as usual in French, when we're talking about compound tenses, then the second part here is always the same. It's le participe passé, so this past participle. Okay, so manger will become manger, regarder, regarder, aller will become aller. Okay, and the first part here, as usual in French, we will use whether avoir or être. And in this case, when we're talking about le passé antérieur, then avoir should be, or être should be at the passé simple form. Okay, so this is the concept, and this is the way we will construct this passé antérieur form. First you get avoir, and it must be conjugated at the passé simple. Then you will put your participe passé, this past participle, and you will get le passé antérieur. Okay, in some cases, remember, we will use être. Same thing here, you get to conjugate être at the passé simple form. Then you will put le participe passé, and it will give you le passé antérieur. Let's see now the verbs that will require the use of être. And we're talking about aller, to go, arriver, to arrive, descendre, to go down, devenir, to become, entrer, to enter, to come in, monter, to go up, mourir, to die, naître, to be born, partir, to leave, rester, to stay, retourner, to return, to come back, sortir, to go out, tomber, to fall, and then venir, to come. So all these verbs will be conjugated at le passé antérieur, or then more generally at all the compound tenses in French with être. And then we've got the verbs like se regarder, s'appeler, se présenter. Okay, so to watch, to look at oneself, to call oneself, to present oneself. So these verbs are called les verbes pronominaux, and all les verbes pronominaux will as well require être at le passé antérieur, or more generally at all the compound tenses in French. So let's see now how avoir is conjugated at le passé simple, because that's the first part that we will use in this passé antérieur form. And it's j'eus, tu eus, il, elle, on eut, nous eûmes, vous eûtes, ils eurent, elles eurent. Okay, so j'eus, tu eus, il eut, nous eûmes, vous eûtes, ils eurent. Then être goes like that. Je fus, tu fus, il fut, elle fut, on fut, nous fûmes, vous fûtes, ils furent, elles furent. Okay? Je fus, tu fus, il fut, nous fûmes, vous fûtes, elles furent. Okay? So this is the first part. Remember that you get to use when you construct this passé antérieur. Then the second part is what we call le participe passé. And keep in mind that when we're talking about the verbs from the first group, regular verbs ending with er, then they will be quite easy, because you just need to take away this er form and you put accent aigu instead. Phonetically it's quite easy because it's exactly the same thing. Parler will become parler. Regarder will become regarder. And even this tricky verb aller, to go, remember you don't conjugate that like the verbs from the first group, but even this one, when it comes to this participe passé form, then it's quite easy because it goes like aller. Okay? Parler, parler, regarder, regarder, aller, aller. Alright, so the second group of regular verbs, so ending with er, remember we're not talking about all the verbs ending with er, but they will be quite easy as well, because you just take away this er thing and you just replace it with I. Okay, so choisir will become choisi, finir will become fini, unir will become uni, okay, etc., etc. After that, of course, we've got the tricky ones, so verbs from the third group. So we can make some subgroups, but then be careful, you should definitely learn them by heart, but if it helps, so les participes passés qui finissent avec U, that will end with U, for example. Connaître will become connu, voir will become vu, okay, and then in I as well, so partir will become parti, rire will become ri, okay, and then in IT, écrire will become écrit, dire will become dit, and then in IS, mettre will become mis, and prendre will become pris. Okay, so connaître, to know, connu, voir, to see, vu, partir, to leave, parti, rire, to laugh, ri, écrire, to write, écrit, dire, to say, dit, mettre, to put, mis, prendre, to take, pris. Okay? Few examples now, or I will conjugate the verb parler at the passé antérieur form, and you will get j'eus parlé, tu eus parlé, il eut parlé, elle eut parlé, on eut parlé, nous eûmes parlé, vous eûtes parlé, ils eurent parlé, elles eurent parlé. Okay, so you can see that we've got our participe passé that will end with a, okay? For a good reason, because remember that when we use être, then something will happen like for all the compound tenses in French. When we put être, then it means that at the end of your participe passé here, you will have to put whether the feminine or the plural form if needed. Of course, in that case you get elle, so it's the feminine singular, so you should add this e at the end for the feminine singular. And then in that case you get the plural, masculine plural, then you should put s for the masculine plural. And here you've got the feminine plural, and you should add this e and s for the feminine plural. Okay, keep in mind that, well, it's actually quite easy because phonetically they are They are the same, all right? But then you should add this final for the feminine, final s for the plural, and final es for the feminine plural. And it goes like that. Il fut allé, elle fut allée, ils furent allés, elles furent allées. Okay, so let's see now all the forms. Je fus allé, tu fus allé, il fut allé, elle fut allée, nous fûmes allés, vous fûtes allés, ils furent allés, elles furent allées. So I will make now the liaison because I know that some of you want me to make the liaison all the time. Je fus allé, tu fus allé, il fut allé, elle fut allée, nous fûmes allés, vous fûtes allés, ils furent allés, elles furent allées. Okay, so remember that you put when needed for the feminine form, you put s when needed for the plural form, and then s for the feminine plural form. Okay? So keep in mind that le passé antérieur, one more time, you get avoir conjugated at the passé simple. Then you will have your participe passé form and you will get this passé antérieur form. In some cases, as we saw, we'll use être, same thing at the passé simple. Then your participe passé and it will give you le passé antérieur. Les verbes en IR du troisième groupe. So keep in mind that in French we've got three groups of verbs, and then the third one, the troisième groupe, is quite irregular, and especially we can find some verbs ending with ER, okay, that don't belong to the second group of regular verbs, but they belong to this third group. So we will see them, okay, because someone wanted me to list them. So of course, it's always a pleasure to please you. So let's see now how they go, and keep in mind that all the verbs en IR don't belong to the second group, because many people tend to think that all the IR verbs will be regular and they belong to the second group, and it's not the case, unfortunately. So we will see them right now. Tenir, s'abstenir, appartenir, contenir, détenir, entretenir, maintenir, obtenir, retenir, soutenir. Okay, so one more time. Tenir, s'abstenir, appartenir, contenir, détenir, entretenir, maintenir, obtenir, retenir, soutenir. Venir, advenir, circonvenir, contrevenir, convenir, devenir, disconvenir, intervenir, parvenir, prévenir. Okay, so let's read them one more time. Venir, advenir, circonvenir, contrevenir, convenir, devenir, disconvenir, intervenir, parvenir, prévenir. Provenir, redevenir, revenir, se souvenir, subvenir, survenir, acquérir, conquérir, s'enquérir, reconquérir. Okay, so one more time. Provenir, redevenir, revenir, se souvenir, subvenir, survenir, acquérir, conquérir, s'enquérir, reconquérir. Requérir, sentir, consentir, pressentir, ressentir, mentir, démentir, partir, repartir, se repentir. And one more time. Requérir, sentir, consentir, pressentir, ressentir, mentir, démentir, partir, repartir, se repentir. Sortir, ressortir, vêtir, dévêtir, revêtir, ouvrir, couvrir, découvrir, redécouvrir, recouvrir. So one more time. Sortir, ressortir, vêtir, dévêtir, revêtir, ouvrir, couvrir, découvrir, redécouvrir, recouvrir. Entrouvrir, rouvrir, offrir, souffrir, cueillir, accueillir, recueillir, assaillir, défaillir, faillir. Entrouvrir, rouvrir, offrir, souffrir, cueillir, accueillir, recueillir, assaillir, défaillir, faillir. Bouillir, dormir, endormir, s'endormir, rendormir, se rendormir, courir, accourir, concourir, discourir. So one more time. Bouillir, dormir, endormir, s'endormir, rendormir, se rendormir, courir, accourir, concourir, discourir. Encourir, parcourir, recourir, secourir, mourir, servir, desservir, resservir, fuir, s'enfuir. So one more time. Encourir, parcourir, recourir, secourir, mourir, servir, desservir, resservir, fuir, s'enfuir. Les verbes en OIR, so from the third group of course, so les verbes en OIR, en OIR. Okay, so let's start now. Recevoir, apercevoir, concevoir, décevoir, percevoir, voir, entrevoir, prévoir, revoir, pourvoir. Okay, so one more time. Recevoir, apercevoir, concevoir, décevoir, percevoir, voir, entrevoir, prévoir, revoir, pourvoir. Savoir, devoir, pouvoir, mouvoir, émouvoir, promouvoir, pleuvoir, repleuvoir, falloir, valoir. Okay, so let's repeat them. Savoir, devoir, pouvoir, mouvoir, émouvoir, promouvoir, sorry it doesn't look so nice, but then promouvoir, pleuvoir, repleuvoir, falloir, valoir. Équivaloir, prévaloir, revaloir, vouloir, asseoir, rasseoir, soir, sursoir, choir, déchoir. So let's repeat them. Équivaloir, prévaloir, revaloir, vouloir, asseoir, rasseoir, soir, sursoir, choir, déchoir. La négation avec les verbes pronominaux. Okay, so we can start right now. And when we talk about la négation in French, normally we are talking about two different parts. The first one is ne, and the second one is pas. Okay, and then in that video, we will focus on les verbes pronominaux. So we are talking about the verbs that will have this se in front of them at the infinitive form. Okay, so for instance, regarder, to watch, to look, and when you put this se form, well, basically, se regarder, it's to look at oneself. Okay, so it's actually quite interesting. And when we will put these verbs at the negative form, well, they can be a bit tricky. So that's the reason why I thought it might be useful to make a video regarding these verbs. So let's see, and we will see first le présent, then le futur proche, then le futur simple, and then le passé composé for this first part. Okay? So at the present form, regarder will actually be like je regarde. Okay, and then if you put the negative form, it's actually quite simple. Je ne, so remember the first part here before the verb, and after that, pas. Okay, so you get the negative form here. Je ne regarde pas. Okay, so let's see now when we've got this verb pronominal se regarder, and you can see that when you conjugate it, then you will get je me regarde, and for the negative form, je ne. So now you can see that the first part of the negative form should be here. Then you will have me, then regarde, and finally pas. Okay, so je ne me regarde pas. So for the futur proche now, remember the futur proche is somehow a fake future because actually you are using this aller verb to go. So je vais regarder. If you want to translate that directly in English, it's I am going to watch, I am going to look. Okay, so je vais regarder. And in that case, it's quite interesting because you've got two verbs. So remember that when you put the negative form, je ne, okay, so the first part will be before aller and then the second part right after aller. Je ne vais pas regarder. Okay, let's see how it will go with se regarder. So, je vais me regarder. So, I am going to watch at myself or myself. And then, négation, je ne vais pas. So, actually, it does behave the same way. You put ne and pas before the first and after the first verb. Okay, then, me regarder. So, je ne vais pas me regarder. So let's see now the futur simple, so the real future, and it's actually not that difficult. So you will get je regarderai, okay, so negative form, je ne regarderai pas, okay, so it does behave like normally when you get only one verb, and then se regarder, je me regarderai, je ne, so exactly the same way, after that me regarderai pas. Je ne me regarderai pas. Okay? And now let's see le passé composé. So normally the passé composé is quite tricky because it's a compound tense, sorry. So it will go like j'ai regardé. And remember that the negative form of le passé composé is quite tricky because you should start, well, first with je, and then you put the negative form here, ne, okay, and then e is going away because you've got the vowel here. So, je n'ai, and then your second part of the negative form is coming right after pas, and then regarder. Je n'ai pas regardé. Let's see for se regarder now. Je me suis regardé. And then for the negative form, je ne. So first you put your first part of the negative form, then me suis pas regardé. Okay? Je ne me suis pas regardé. So let's see now how we will construct this negative form of les verbes pronominaux at the imparfait form, so plus que parfait, conditionnel présent, and then conditionnel passé. So for l'imparfait, then regarder will go like je regardais, and then the negative form, je ne regardais pas. Then se regarder, actually quite simple. You've got only one form or one verb. So, je me regardais. Je ne me regardais pas. Okay, so remember, as usual, ne first, then you will put me, and then pas at the end. Let's see now for the plus que parfait, remember, so plus que parfait and conditionnel passé, well, they somehow will behave like le passé composé because they are compound tenses as well. Okay, so it will be exactly the same thing. So let's have a look at regarder at plus que parfait. And it goes like that. J'avais regardé. And then for the negative form, je n'avais pas regardé. And for le verbe pronominal se regarder, then you will get je m'étais regardé. Then je ne m'étais pas regardé. Okay, so exactly the same thing. Remember, you will put ne to your first part, then you will keep m'était together, and after that you will put your pas. Okay, a common mistake is to put this pas at the end, right here. Okay, so remember it shouldn't be here, but it should be definitely right after avoir or être in that case. Okay. Conditionnel présent, then it will go like that. Regarder, je regarderai. Okay. Negative form, je ne regarderai pas. Forme pronominale se regarder, je me regarderai. And then it will go, je ne me regarderai pas. Okay, basically one verb, so it's not that tricky. You just keep it here. Remember that me should be connected to it and then before and after. And let's see now le conditionnel passé. So remember, as I said, it's a compound tense, so it will behave exactly as we had le passé composé and then le plus que parfait. So let's see. Regarder, j'aurais regardé, je n'aurais pas regardé. Okay, and let's see now for se regarder. Je me serais regardé, je ne me serais pas regardé. Okay, so exactly the same way as we had for the passé composé and le plus que parfait. Okay, remember that actually for the subjonctif, le passé simple, le futur antérieur, so all these tenses that we already covered in the past lessons, well, it will be exactly the same way. Les interjections. Okay, so when we're talking about les interjections, actually, une interjection can also be une onomatopée. We are basically talking about all these little sounds or words that people can produce when they want to express certain feelings. Okay, so and of course they are different in all the languages. So we'll see now how we do express la douleur in French. Okay, so here is the translation. And well, here are the options. The first one will be aïe. The second one, oui. Oh, then it can be aïe aïe aïe. Okay, so remember aïe, oui, aïe aïe aïe. When we're talking about le dégoût, so disgust, in that case, we can, well, actually use this burk or then pois. Okay, so burk, pois. Then l'incrédulité. Okay, l'incrédulité. Well, tu parles would be an option. Then mon œil, it's actually quite funny, my eye, mon œil, or then oui, sûrement. And this one is quite funny as well because basically it's yes for sure, yes of course, but then in that case, of course, you want to say that you don't believe this person. Okay, so whether tu parles, or then mon œil, or then oui, sûrement. Then l'admiration. Oh. Or then wow. Super. Top. Or then trop fort. Of course, in this category, well, it does evolve, and probably there will be some new expressions in the coming months or years, but then these ones are actually the basics that you can find. So, oh, wa, super, top, trop fort. Okay, so let's see now. L'indifférence. Bof is a common one. Bof. Then le soulagement. First one would be ouf. And then the second one would be enfin. Okay, so ouf, enfin. And finally, la satisfaction. Très bien, extra, super, parfait. And it's exactly the same as I said previously. So basically, this category evolves all the time. So these ones are the basics ones. And then, you can hear some new ones from time to time. Okay, so but then, très bien, extra, super, and then parfait. So the important thing when we're talking about les interjections, it's quite good to know them. Just know exactly according to the context that you are in or the persons you are talking to or talking with, if you can use them or not, because they are not that formal. So if it's a formal context, then maybe it would be better not to use them. L'interrogation et les registres de langue. Okay, and more precisely, we will cover la langue soutenue, la langue courante et la langue familière. Okay, so la langue soutenue, la langue courante et la langue familière. Just because, in most of the cases, if you want to ask a question, you will have all these options. So whether it's in a formal situation, an everyday situation, the last one, it's spoken and it's really informal. So I would advise you to know it and maybe not to use it. It's up to you, but then be careful. Okay, so we can start right now. And the first question is, qui est présent? And so in that case, you can see that it's a normal way of asking a question. You will start with qui, who, est is présent, present here. Okay, so it's, a normal question. But then, of course, we can have these two other options, as I said. So the second one here is the more, common. So it's an everyday language. So qui est-ce qui est présent? And then the last one, qui c'est qui est présent? Okay, so this one, as I said, it's really spoken and not formal at all. So don't use that if you're not sure about the context or the situation or the persons that you are talking with. Okay, so I'd rather advise you to use the first one or the second one. Okay, so qui est présent, or then qui est-ce qui est présent? Keep in mind that we tend to use this est-ce que, est-ce qui, okay? So this is quite oral in that case. Second question, so que fais-tu? Okay, so in that case, what do you do? So basically we put the verb first and then after that we will put tu. Okay, so que fais-tu? Let's see how it will go if it's not as official. So it would go like, qu'est-ce que tu fais? Okay, so same thing. We tend to use this est-ce que. We add that. Okay, and the last one, tu fais quoi? Okay, so in that case, keep in mind that you should raise your voice at the end, just to make clear that it's a question. Okay, then à qui penses-tu? So in that case, it's quite interesting because penser, to think, okay, in that case, to think about someone or something, should be constructed with the preposition à, so it's coming before. À qui penses-tu? Okay, and so if it's less official, then you could, as usual, add this est-ce que, so à qui est-ce que tu penses? Okay, à qui est-ce que tu penses? Okay, and then the less formal, so the spoken way, à qui tu penses, or then tu penses à qui. Okay, so let's see them one more time. Qui est présent? Qui est-ce qui est présent? Qui c'est qui est présent? Then, que fais-tu? And you will get, qu'est-ce que tu fais? Tu fais quoi? À qui penses-tu? À qui est-ce que tu penses? À qui tu penses? Tu penses à qui? So let's continue. And then the next question, it is De quoi parle-t-il? So parler, to talk. Parler de, to talk about. So what is he talking about? De quoi parle-t-il? Okay. So the less formal or the everyday way of saying that is de quoi est-ce qu'il parle? Okay, so you can see one more time that we add this est-ce que thing. And then de quoi il parle? Then il parle de quoi? Okay, one more time, be careful, the last options are really informal. Then, avec qui vient-elle? Okay, so venir is to come. Venir avec, it's to come with. Okay, so avec qui vient-elle? So it will be like avec qui est-ce qu'elle vient? So one more time, we add this est-ce que. Okay, and then avec qui elle vient? Elle vient avec qui? All right. À quoi pense-t-elle? So we saw that penser is to think. Okay, so in that case, it's not to think about someone but something. So à quoi pense-t-elle? Okay, and it will become à quoi est-ce qu'elle pense? Or then à quoi elle pense à quoi? Okay, so let's see them. And normally keep in mind that we should, raise our voice at the end because there are questions. So I will raise my voice now. De quoi parle-t-il? De quoi est-ce qu'il parle? De quoi il parle? Il parle de quoi? Avec qui vient-elle? Avec qui est-ce qu'elle vient? Avec qui elle vient? Elle vient avec qui? À quoi pense-t-elle? À quoi est-ce qu'elle pense? À quoi elle pense? Elle pense à quoi? Okay. Few more questions. The first one, comment s'appelle-t-il? Okay, remember, so what is his name? Comment s'appelle-t-il? So that's the correct way to ask the name of someone. So if you want to actually, as usual, make it less formal, then you will have to use this est-ce que. So, comment est-ce qu'il s'appelle? And then the spoken way, comment il s'appelle? Il s'appelle comment? Okay. Où allons-nous? Où est-ce que nous allons? Où nous allons? Nous allons où? Quand viendras-tu? Quand est-ce que tu viendras? Quand tu viendras? Tu viendras quand? Okay, so, one more time. Comment s'appelle-t-il? Comment est-ce qu'il s'appelle? Comment il s'appelle? Il s'appelle comment? Où allons-nous? Où est-ce que nous allons? Où nous allons? Nous allons où? Quand viendras-tu? Quand est-ce que tu viendras? Quand tu viendras? Tu viendras quand? La négation, and more precisely, the famous ne, ni, ni. Okay, so it looks a bit strange maybe, but don't worry, it will be quite clear after this video. So normally when we talk about la négation, so the negative form in French, we have two parts, so ne and then pas. Okay, but of course when we talk about ne pas, we are talking about une négation. Okay, and actually it's possible to have deux négations as well, and in that case, of course, the structure will change and we won't use only ne pas, we will use ne, so the first part, then we will use ni, and then ni as well. So let's see how it will work. And we will see examples avec des verbes, so with verbs, avec des adjectifs, with adjectives, and avec des noms, with nouns or substantives. Okay, so the first one, avec des verbes. So let's see how it will go. So if we've got a sentence like il chante. Chante is to sing, so he's singing. And in that case, if you want to put the negative form, in that case it's quite simple, because as usual, we will put the first part, ne, so before the verb, and then you will put the second part, pas, after the verb, so you will get il ne chante pas. Okay, so it's quite simple, but then if you have a sentence like il chante et il danse, okay, so he's singing and he's dancing, in that case, well, whether you will use il ne chante pas et il ne danse pas, so it's actually quite interesting because in that case, and that's normally what people tend to use, okay, you will basically repeat this negative form with et, and, okay, so il ne chante pas et il ne danse pas. Okay, so we've got this other option, and in the case of verbs, actually it's quite interesting because if you use this other option that we saw, ne, ni, okay, in that case it will be quite rare to hear that because in most of the cases that's what we call langue soutenue, so it's really formal, official, it's not really everyday language, okay, but then it would go like il ne chante ni ne danse, okay, and keep in mind that you don't use the pas at all, okay, il ne chante ni ne danse. But in most of the cases, well, people will use this option right here. Il ne chante pas et il ne danse pas. And in that case, we're talking about verbs, okay? Because you will see that for les adjectifs, it will be a bit different because, let's see now. Il est grand, okay? Grand is tall. Il est grand, okay? Négatif, forme négative, pardon. Il n'est pas grand, okay, so it's quite simple in that case. We just keep the negative form as usual. But then if we've got il est grand et fort, fort is strong, okay, then in that case, if you want to put the negative form, you will get il n'est, okay, so you will use first this first part of the negative form, ne, okay, but then as you've got this vowel here, you will drop the e, il n'est, then you will put your ni before the adjective, the first one, and the second ni before the second adjective. Okay, so you will get il n'est ni grand ni fort. Keep in mind that pas is not here at all. Okay, so it's a common mistake to somehow try to put pas in the sentence. Pas is not here, okay? Il n'est ni grand ni fort. So let's see now how it will go avec des noms, okay? So the first example, of course, with one word or noun, j'aime le fromage, and then for the negative form it will go like je n'aime pas le fromage, okay? So not a problem at all. But then let's see how it will go. J'aime le fromage et le vin rouge. Okay, so fromage is cheese and then vin rouge is red wine. So it's only for adults, remember that? J'aime le fromage et le vin rouge, and in that case, if you want to put the negative form, then it will go like je n'aime, so the first part of the negative form, ni, so you put it before your word here, le fromage, ni, before the second one, le vin rouge. Okay? Je n'aime ni le fromage, ni le vin rouge. Same thing, there is no pas at all, so pas doesn't exist here. Okay? So, je n'aime ni le fromage, ni le vin rouge. L'expression de l'intensité. Okay, so l'expression de l'intensité. So clearly we're talking about how to express this a lot thing in concept in English, in French. So it will be, for instance, here we can use des préfixes. Okay, so let's see what kind of prefix we could use. The first one would be hyper, then super, extra, maxi, archi, or then sûr. So if we're talking about prefix in that case, it means that you will have to add these little things in front of your word. Okay, so hyper, super, extra, maxi, archi, sûr. All right, so let's see how it could go. Quelques exemples. C'est super bon. Okay, so basically you could say c'est bon, it's good, but then if you want to make it more, even more, in that case you can add this super in front of bon, and you combine it, you get c'est super bon. C'est archi classique. C'est hyper difficile. Ok, c'est super bon, c'est archi classique, c'est hyper difficile. So let's see now if we've got a noun, so un nom. In that case, you can also use énormément de, then it will be followed by your noun. My God, I will manage. Or then it could be beaucoup de followed by your noun. Okay? Let's see a few examples now. Quelques exemples. Il a beaucoup de travail. Il a beaucoup de travail. And then, il y a énormément de neige. Il y a énormément de neige. Okay, so remember, beaucoup de, énormément de, and then your word, travail, neige. If we have un adjectif ou un adverbe, in that case you can use extrêmement, très, énormément, parfaitement. Okay? Extrêmement, très, énormément, parfaitement, avec un adjectif ou un adverbe. Quelques exemples. Il voyage très rarement. C'est extrêmement bon. Il voyage très rarement. C'est extrêmement bon. Troisième et dernière catégorie avec un verbe. Verbe plus beaucoup. Verbe plus extrêmement. Verbe plus énormément. Verbe plus beaucoup, verbe plus extrêmement, verbe plus énormément. Quelques exemples. Elle travaille beaucoup. Il voyage énormément. Elle travaille beaucoup. Il voyage énormément. Okay, so keep in mind that you will have to put them after your verb. Ok? Et voilà, vous êtes des spécialistes pour l'expression de l'intensité. Merci beaucoup, passez une agréable journée. Au revoir et à bientôt. La comparaison parallèle. La comparaison parallèle, so it's actually quite simple. It's a bit difficult to present, so I'll try to be as clear as possible, but normally when we'll cover the examples, you will understand that quite quickly. So basically, la comparaison parallèle, you would like to compare two things that are somehow going in the same direction, so basically more and more, plus et plus. Okay, or then it could be in the other direction, moins et moins, less and less. Or then it could be in the same direction like that, autant, autant, as much as. Okay, the other possibility would be, of course, like that. Okay, and it's plus et moins. Or then the last option would be moins et plus. Okay, so let's see exactly what I'm talking about right here. So the first example is plus et plus. Okay, so you can see that I don't pronounce it final S. Plus je travaille, plus je suis fatigué. Okay, so keep in mind that you should start your sentence with plus here. Then you should put this virgule right here, then continue with plus. And basically what you want to say is je travaille, I work, je suis fatigué, I am tired. So the more I work, the more I am tired. And it's quite useful, it's quite simple to make because have a look, plus, structure, virgule, plus, and then you continue. And of course, if you want to say the same thing but in the other direction, so moins et moins, less and less, well, it will be exactly the same way to construct your sentence. Moins je dors, it's I sleep, so the less I sleep, moins je suis en forme, I am in a good shape. Okay? Moins je dors, moins je suis en forme. Okay, so it's quite simple. Don't forget here la virgule to make the little separation between the two. And then the other one would be autant, autant. So remember, autant son travail est intéressant. Okay, so son travail, his job, est intéressant, is interesting. Autant ses collègues sont désagréables. Ses collègues, his colleagues, sont désagréables. Well, they're not so nice. And then in that case, well, clearly with this sentence, you want to compare two things. The first one, and you want to put them like, you want to compare the two things because they are somehow equally important. So, son travail est intéressant, so his job is interesting. And the second thing is, ses collègues sont désagréables. So the structure will be exactly the same. You start with autant. Remember to put here la virgule, and you continue with autant and the structure. Okay? Autant son travail est intéressant, autant ses collègues sont désagréables. So now we'll see what it or how it will go if we've got plus and then moins. Because basically it will change a little bit. In that case, have a look. So we start with plus. Okay, so plus je me couche tard. Okay, so coucher it's to go to bed, and then tard it's late. Okay, so plus je me couche tard. And now you can see that we don't put la virgule, but we put et. Okay, and et here. Okay, so plus je me couche tard et, and then you will continue with your moins. Moins je me lève tôt. Okay, se lever is to wake up tôt, early. Plus je me couche tard et moins je me lève tôt. Okay, and basically in the same way, we will construct the structure with moins et plus. Like that, you start with moins. So, moins je mange. Okay, so basically, je mange, it's to eat. Moins je mange et plus j'ai faim. J'ai faim, avoir faim, it's to be hungry. So, plus j'ai faim. Moins je mange et, remember, you should put this et and then continue, plus j'ai faim. La comparaison progressive. And you will see that it's actually quite simple in French. So basically when we talk about la comparaison progressive, we talk about la progression, so that's the key word. So la progression, it could go like that, or then like that. And you will see that it will be really simple to construct that, because basically in that case you will use this plus et plus, and then here it will be moins et moins. So let's see now how to construct that if we want to combine it with un adjectif. Okay, so in that case it will be quite simple. You will need to use this de plus en plus, so basically you make the liaison, de plus en plus. Okay, and then here de moins en moins, but then you make the liaison, de moins en moins. So let's see two examples now, and the first one, il fait de plus en plus chaud. Il fait de moins en moins froid. Okay, so you can see that it's really simple to make it, because basically you've got your adjective here, and just before it you will have to put this de plus en plus, okay, or then de moins en moins. Alright, so it is really, really simple. Let's see now if you want to combine it with an adverb. Okay, so basically, what a surprise, it's the same. De plus en plus, de moins en moins. Okay, so il vient de plus en plus rarement, and then elle voyage de moins en moins souvent. So it's exactly the same thing. So normally you would have your sentence il vient rarement, so the adverb would come after the verb, just between the two, or then to be more precise, before your adverb you will put this de plus en plus, okay, and then de moins en moins. So let's see now how it will work with un nom. And then in that case, you can see that it's a bit different because you will have to use this de plus en plus, but then keep in mind that you should put de as well, okay? And then de moins en moins, de. All right? It will be the only difference between what we saw for un adjectif ou un adverbe. So let's see how it will go now. Vous avez de plus en plus de livres. Okay, so you can see that you put this de here, and then you will put your words or your noun, livre, chez vous. Okay. Nous avons de moins en moins de problèmes avec nos voisins. All right, so it's actually the same way, you just put this de plus en plus, but then you need to remember to put de, okay, and then de moins en moins, de. So you can see that it's quite simple in French to make this comparaison progressive